Alright. Hi, my name is Casey Schultz.
Hi, my name is Dorico Ambrose.
This is our interpersonal communication midterm project on emotions and their effects on us. Okay, so we started out doing some research on the definition of interpersonal communication. We found an article by Han from 2011 entitled "What is Interpersonal Communication?" She had a quote in there, or she had some sayings in there that I really liked, so we took a quote from it. And I quote, she says, "I define interpersonal communication as a process we use to build relationships with others through communication by effectively doing the following: understanding the other person's situation, communicating in the right manner, and influencing them to listen or take action as needed." So reading through that, we took just some different points away from it, and those are the three big ones that she talked about. And so we took some time and read through definitions and took away what we thought they meant. For understanding the other situation, it's in order for the message to be received, the sender must understand how the person feels about the topic being discussed. So, like, for example, if I'm talking about a super touchy subject, it's going to be less likely, if they don't agree with my opinion, they're going to be less likely to listen and communicate back with me. They're going to be kind of like, "Hey, stop talking, you're making this uncomfortable for me." So, like, if you're finding somebody to talk to, you want to be able to be sure that they understand exactly how you feel about the topic and that it's mutual. And then talking about communicating in the right manner, we felt at this point it was talking about how our tone and our words we use influence how a message is sent and received. So, like, if I'm talking really happy but I'm saying something really sad, then it doesn't come across right. Or if I'm talking really sad and saying something really happy, you get confused on what I'm trying to get across towards you. So knowing how, like, your tone or, like, your facial and nonverbal messages are being sent can influence how the message is received and sent. Then lastly, too, talking about how influencing them to listen. What she was mentioning in her article was that when talking about this, like, to get them to listen, you either must find, like, a common ground where, like, both people feel the need to talk on the same situation or relate to it, or be a really good listener to what they say, and then, in a sense, they return the favor by listening to what you say in the opinion, or on the matter.
Miguel, 2015, in personal communication and human relationship. Trust and identity and relatable topic are 3 points that we picked up in the fluent seeing and receiving messages. Trust, for example, trust. Trust is like me sharing a big personal topic to my receiver. Understanding identity. Make sure I use similar combination patterns to my receiver. Another example, relatable. Both of us have a way to talk about it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about emotions now and how they affect us. So from the article by Goldman entitled "Emotions and the Communication," he talked about what emotion is and what emotional intelligence is. For what we found from it was that our emotions are used in everyday conversation, and that generally when we're talking, we feel more than one emotion at the same time, though they may be very closely related. So if I'm talking about a really exciting topic and I'm happy, then I'm going to be smiling, so I'm going to feel happiness and excitement. And if I'm happy about somebody I'm talking to, it could be a sense of I'm happy about how much I love that person. So you're feeling more than one emotion at the same time. And it influences how you say stuff to the person and how, like, the person reads what you're trying to say to them. We also we learned from an early age, it's a couple years old, how we're supposed to feel towards a certain topic. Like, if you do good in a test or you do something really good, it's taught at a young age that you should feel excited about that. Or if you do bad, you're supposed to feel bad about that. Now, when you grow older and stuff, it becomes common ground that that's how you're supposed to feel on the subject. But you're taught that from a young age on how to feel towards a certain situation.
Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means me being able to understand how you feel. Expressing emotions. Things like body language, your tone of your voice, and the way you express your feelings.
Okay, so we have different types of emotion too. This is found in the book Floyd from 2011 entitled "Interpersonal Communication." So there's three big main emotion or categories of emotions that we read through. They were affectionate, hostile, and sad, and those are the three big categories, and then they're broken down to specific types of emotions in those categories. We took a couple away from each one of them. Like, for example, in your affectionate emotions, you have like happiness, love, and liking someone. Or in your hostile emotions, you have anger and disgust and envy for someone. And then in your sad emotions, or sad category, you have like your sadness about something, or your depression, or your fear towards it. So, expressing them too.
Expressing emotions, things like body language, your tone, and the voice, and how you express your feelings.
And that's from Schmidt's 2012, entitled Emotions and Interpersonal Communication. So me and Rico have a couple examples on how like we express our emotions in everyday situations. We picked like taking a test, for example, how you may have different emotions in your life about taking this test. So we have a couple little skits to run through with you guys. So, hey man, how'd the test go?
It went great. How was yours?
It was great. I did super good on it. I feel really good. Like this might actually, like you said, save your grade and stuff too. So I mean, this could go really well for us. And so, like, that's an example of happiness, and, like, you did really good in your test. Both you two did, so you're excited, you're smiling, your eyes are happy, everything's going super good for you, and you just feel on top of the world, and that's your happiness emotion taking over in your conversation, and, like, how your body posture is, you're upright, your head's held high kind of thing. So, for our next example. Okay. Hey, man, how'd the test go?
It was bullshit.
Oh, really? I did really well on it.
You probably cheated.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, so, I mean, obviously kind of an extreme example, but that's your enviness of somebody. Like, I did really well on the test, so I'm still pretty happy about myself. I'm feeling happiness, while Rico, on the other hand, is feeling kind of envious towards me because I did well and he didn't, so therefore he's coming up with reasons of why I did well. And then for our last example. So, hey man, how'd the test go?
Man, it was horrible.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I don't know, I didn't do as well as I was hoping for on it. Yeah. So, like, in sadness here, like, we're expressing how we feel bad about how we didn't do well in a test. So, like, for example, Rico did a really good job. Like, his shoulders were held low and stuff. His head was down. Like, weak handshake, just nothing. Your body's not communicating. You're just communicating that I feel bad about this and that you're not happy with it. So, like, that's how we express emotions in our everyday lives. We also have a couple examples on how we feel about emotions in our lives. For example, even in my today, like how my day was going today, I was hanging out with a couple of my fraternity brothers, and we were walking around campus, and I was having a really good day. Like, we were sitting there, we were laughing, we were having a good time, just talking about how our days went and joking about things that happened over the weekend. And then I got a text from one of my friends, and it was some depressing news about just the long situation. And so it took me a step back, and as I was reading the message, I was looking through it, and I went from really into the conversation to totally out of it and not being like paying attention to anything at all to what they were saying. And so, like, I was on my phone and they were still laughing and having fun. And then I got the message and I figured whatever was out with it. And I put my phone back away, and all of a sudden I came back into the conversation. I picked back up, my mood got better, and all of a sudden I was communicating again and joking and laughing and being totally into the conversation.
For example, of my emotions in my life that I have right now is having too much homework can stress me over and stop me from going out and doing things I want to.
Okay, awesome.